Good morning and happy Monday. I've got my coffee here ready to go, and I thought today we'd take a look at shortcodes in WordPress. And, nothing overly fancy, kind of some simple shortcodes. I'll probably title this one Fun with Shortcodes. So it's Monday morning. It's been a busy previous week, and fortunately, I am crazy busy with work, so I haven't had a lot of time to prepare. So this is going to be a little different. So I thought I'd kind of fly by the seat of my pants here. I've got my testing site open. This is what we did last week with the generate do template part. And I thought I'd look at adding some little things like probably adding a header in GeneratePress. And we'll do some things like add the author name and maybe the author pick. I don't know, just some general shortcode kind of stuff. Again, nothing fancy. I'm not going to do the loop or anything like that. Just some little things that you can do to insert dynamic content. Mainly in a GeneratePress heading. I've seen this pop up in the Facebook group a couple of times. So let's take, I'm sorry. First, let me show you the child theme that, most of you have already seen. This is what I'm working with. And again, you don't necessarily need the child theme that I've created to do any of this. They're just shortcodes. They're native to WordPress. You can add them using the snippets plugin or your own child theme. You can just drop them in your functions.php and they'll work fine. I have the Shortcode API open here from the WordPress documentation because I'll probably need to reference it. And I also have my child theme open here in VS Code. So I have an ink folder, and I'm using my child theme from GitHub. So this is the way I'm going to do it. So I've opened up shortcodes.php in my ink folder, and I need to make sure in my functions.php that shortcodes, here it is. So it is not included. So I need to uncomment that and resave it so that shortcodes are now available. Now I have some examples in here, and I'm probably going to copy and paste from them because it's stuff that I've left over from other projects that I can use as kind of to jumpstart whatever I might need to do. But I'm going to comment these out just so they're not available. And as we build them, you'll see what we're doing. And here is where some styles have been queued up. We're going to comment that out as well. So what is a shortcode? So a shortcode is a simple little code piece. For example, here's a gallery. This is built into WordPress. It's a little snippet of code that you can insert into a page or a post or even your template using the do shortcode function, and it'll execute whatever this shortcode does. So it's just a little bit of PHP. A little bit of coffee here. Yeah, so it's just a little bit of PHP. And the great thing about it is if you want something in your, like what we're going to do, for example, we're going to use GeneratePress Premium. We're going to use the header element. So let's create a new header. And we'll call it our movies header, our movie single header. And we already get some of these great things that we can work with, like the title and the date. Oh, and here's the author. So we don't have to do that technically with a shortcode, but what is something else we could pull in with a shortcode? The excerpt. Let's say, for example, we want our excerpt to be kind of not just the excerpt on the listing page, but we want it to be kind of a summary that they see when they look at our heading. Let's make the background our featured image. we can also put in a featured image if we want to. We'll see about that. So let's do it center. We're gonna make it centered. We're gonna give it a percentage on the top and bottom. We'll just say 4%. I really don't know what this is gonna look like. We'll do the gray as just a solid background. Yeah, featured image, no fallback. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, let's do a little bit of overlay. Yeah. And let's do just for now, see what this looks like. Oh, we need display rules, yeah. So we need it to only show up on our movies post type, not on the archive, but on the single view. I believe that'll do it. So let's publish that. Oh, I bet I needed to, yeah. Yeah, let's tell it to disable the featured image. And also it's showing, I guess I have to disable that myself. I thought that that did it on its own. Excuse me. Site header, no, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's make that a little bit bigger. Oh, and make it our text color white. Okay, I think that's enough to get us going. Something we can play with. Yeah, okay. So now a shortcode. So let's see. Am I really going to start out with an image? I really wanted to show you something. Oh, the excerpt. That's what we were going to do. Okay, so let's take a look at the basic makeup of a shortcode. So, and I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm going to look at what I already have here. So a shortcode is essentially a function. So you need this, and I guess this is called a function in WordPress. And we need a couple of arguments. We need the name of the shortcode, which I'm going to, just for the sake of time and not having to make another decision, generally it's good to prefix your shortcodes because, you know, there are other plugins that may use their own shortcodes and you don't want yours to conflict with any of those. So I generally prefix them with GPC _ for GeneratePress child theme. More coffee, sorry. But you know, sometimes you want to do it by the site name, maybe the client name. So if you were doing a site for Bubba's chocolate ice cream, I don't know, you might prefix it as Bubba's chocolate ice cream. So BCI _ and then whatever. Sometimes I just do it as site. I think that can kind of cover stuff, and you know, your clients won't think it's too weird or wonky. But I'm gonna just, for now, we're gonna call it GPC, and we're gonna call it, I guess, get excerpt, show excerpt, or maybe it should just be post excerpt. I don't know. Yeah, again, naming stuff is sometimes the hardest part. So that's the actual name of the shortcode to call it, and then we need our function. And this I do. Sometimes I'll do GPC func, and then I'll, you know, repeat the name. Oh, I'm sorry, I need to put that in quotes. GPC func, and then post excerpt. Okay, and that's it for the shortcode bit for the function, I guess. But now we have to make our own function and call GPC func post excerpt. And we don't have any arguments yet. But all we're going to do is, and here's where I have to kind of remind myself. So a shortcode returns something. It doesn't echo anything necessarily. It returns something. And, in PHP, you have echo, you have print, and that means, spit this out to the page. I want you to output this and show it on the page. But you can also just simply return something, which just returns a value or something to PHP so you can do something with it. I think, and we can try to kind of take a look here, that when you're creating a shortcode, so you're seeing this example, return foo and bar. So it's going to automatically output it, so echo it on its own when it executes that shortcode. So I believe we can do something like excerpt equals get the excerpt. Okay. And then we can say return excerpt. Now you could just say return get the excerpt, I suppose. For some reason, it's generally good practice to put your value, whatever you're grabbing, into a variable, and then you can do something with that variable. Not 100% sure, just so I try to, it's something I see, so I try to do it too. Good morning coffee. So technically that's all we need. Now, some of these others, I put the add shortcode function after. I think I do that in a good many places, but it really doesn't matter. However you want to do it, before or after. I think that's just personal preference. So now we should be able to, we're here. I can, so comment, output the excerpt. And then I'll put just what the shortcode looks like. So this is GPC post excerpt. So technically this would work for any post. Okay, so let's save that. And we're just going to copy that. Jump back over here to our header. And we'll put it in H2. We're not going to try to do any fancy layout or anything just yet. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so we're getting the read more and all that kind of stuff because we haven't put in an excerpt. So it's working. We now have the excerpt output in our, and I'm going to change that to a paragraph because that's looking kind of jacked up. There, that's better. Again, we're not trying to create some awesome design at the moment, but let's take a look at, okay, so let's go to Ghostbusters and let's see, do I have the excerpt? I do not. Okay, so let's jump back over to pods, which is what I've used to build out this custom post type. And you can use custom post type UI. You can use just PHP code. It does not matter. There should be supports excerpt. There it is. Okay. Yeah, so that's a typical, these are typical options for your custom post type. What all does it support? What elements do you want to show in the editing interface? And I had not included the excerpt. So now we have, we're just going to use this as the excerpt. All right, so now, now we just get the text. None of the read more stuff, but let's say get the excerpt. Let's look at, oh, it is, okay. Let's look and see, are there options to let us, just in case and this may be, too much to get into right now because we're really just looking at shortcodes. Function is used outside the loop. Use trim excerpt to generate an excerpt. Okay, this may be more than we want to go into right now. I was just wondering if there was a way, say for example, if you were doing this for a client, you might make a custom field to do the excerpt or something like that. I'm going outside of the scope of this video, but essentially if someone forgot to add, if your client, say you handed this over to a client and they forgot to add the excerpt, and it would just grab the first bits of whatever the article was, and you get that, ellipses, the ... and then the read more. Obviously on the single post page, you wouldn't want that. Drink of coffee, sorry. You would want it to trim up nice and neatly at the end of a sentence. So we're going to say for now, advise your client to please put something in the excerpt. And maybe there's a way, again, outside the scope of this video, to make the excerpt required. That would probably be the best way to go. Just make that bit so that they had to enter something. And you probably can. So now we have an excerpt. So that was pretty easy, right? That's all it is. We're calling a function that's native to WordPress, but we're wrapping it in a little shortcode. And you can call this whatever you want, pretty much. So now let's get a little more complicated. Let's say we want the author image in here, and I've never done that. I've never grabbed the function for get author image. Elements, sorry. I can't think and talk at the same time. So we have post author, so we'll see what that looks like real quick. So excerpt, we'll put that in a div. I don't know, for some reason. Let's see, we'll do something like this. And there's better markup for this. I know there is meta and stuff like that, but I'm going to be lazy right now. We'll just call this post author. Okay. Post author. And now we want a post image. Post author info. Okay, post author name. And now we need one for post author image. We want a profile image. That would be cool. Oh, it's linked and I can't read it. Okay. Well, you know what? So maybe this is a good use for a shortcode. Because what if I don't want it to link? Get author name. Function has been deprecated. Get the author meta. WordPress has great documentation. This is a lot of stuff. Okay, so you get it as an object. So when you get this, it's going to grab all this stuff. Okay, so we want maybe the nice name. Maybe. I'm sorry for the little pauses. I'm taking a drink of coffee as I'm doing this. So what are the examples? Let's take a look. Get the author meta. Okay, so this is not too difficult. Author ID. So okay, outside the loop, inside the loop. So I wonder, do you have to put in, do we need to get the author ID first and then you get this other stuff? They didn't really provide us an example, did they? Reveal user ID is false. Well, let's just try something. So let's see, here we show, nice name. So you know what? Let's make our own. Let's give it a try. We're going to copy and paste this whole thing. And we're going to say get author nice name. author, nice name. Okay, so since that is the shortcode, that's how we want it to appear. To it, I'm going to use a VS Code trick. So I'm going to highlight that and hit, I'm on Windows, so I'm going to hit Control D, and it's going to grab both of these. GPC, func, author, nice name. Okay, so again, this is how my shortcode is output. See, that's what I want in the brackets. And this GPC func author nice name, this is the function that is called to execute our shortcode, I guess you'd say. So how does it go? Get the author meta. Let's see, get the author meta. Oh, it's already in here. Okay. I think we can just say nice name. I think. And again, we're going to rename that variable just to keep things nice and consistent. Yeah, so I wonder if we actually need that ID. We're going to try it out and see, because we're doing our stuff within the loop. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to save this. And let's see if we can get author nice name. Now, it may still put a link in it. I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay. GPC author nice name. Update. And let's see what happens. I got nothing. Okay, so maybe we do need that ID. So first, so what it's doing is, let's take a look at that. So we're telling it to go grab nice name from get the author meta, but so this function apparently needs the ID of the author first. And since we haven't specified, it doesn't know which author to go grab this from, I'm guessing. So let's try. We're going to get the author ID. And so we still use that meta, get the author meta, but we're going to grab the ID first. And then down in this function, since the function can take, let's go back up to the top here. So it's telling us that the first parameter, around down here is where it tells you. So parameters, these are like arguments. They're like things you pass into the function to be used. So it's saying, you know, the first space is where you supply the field. And then the second space is where you supply the ID of the person you want to get all this stuff from, or the author. It looks like the default value is false, like you don't need it, but it says it's optional, but it looks like ours doesn't know what to do with it. Maybe because it's in the heading, or the header, so that it may be outside the loop. I don't know. So yeah, let's try that. So here we're not getting. So how does it know where to get the author ID from? I don't know. Again, I'm not, I guess what you call an educated programmer. Author ID. Yeah, okay. So now we're getting the ID using get the author meta, and then get the name. We're saying get nice name from this author, and that'll be the ID number of that particular author. So let's save that and go over here. And all we should have to do is refresh our page. And we still get nothing. And I really didn't want to end up in this spot having to troubleshoot something like this. But let's see. What could be happening? Okay, did I get... Maybe the user doesn't have a nice name. Maybe we could try, let's just try grabbing some different values and see what happens. Nope, nothing. Okay. So maybe display name. Yeah. We get nothing. That's interesting. GPC author nice name. Am I doing that right? Did I spell it right? I hope this video is not going bad. Yeah, so this is my day. This is when this happens, it's just lovely. Well, let's try maybe let's try the ID. Yeah, let's go down here and look at another example, and let's just see. Okay. Outside the loop. Yeah, let's just see what, let's return. We're going to change what it returns. Whoop. Let's just see if it'll spit out the author ID. And that could be our problem right there if it's not getting that. Okay, yeah, we've got nothing. Let's take a look at the inspector. We should see an empty, yeah, post author info. Yeah, it's so nothing, absolutely nothing is coming out. That's bizarre. But so if it is outside the loop, this is what this guy is suggesting, that we need to get the post information. Now, this is used a good bit. So if we are outside the loop, we need to get information about the post that's being displayed. So this global tells it, make this, we want this value, which is an object. It is like this, if you don't know what an object is, it pretty much, it's a variable and it has lots of stuff in it. So for example, here, you're getting post, and then he's saying, okay, go grab the author ID from the post object. So let's try that part. Let's try that. So let's go back to our, and it may be that we don't want nice name, I'm not sure. So we want the author ID. Okay, first we need global, woo, and the post object. Okay, and then we need that author ID. We need post author. Okay, so I'm saying get the post object, and out of that object I want the post author. Okay, which is going to return an ID. So now it's gonna, hopefully, now we have the author ID. And just to show you, let's go back and do this, because this is a good thing to know. This works in lots of different places. So let's refresh, and now we have it. Okay, so the author is me, so I have an ID of 1. So it's actually returning that ID now. So if we go back to nice name, we should get something, I think. Okay, we get Addison. So let's say I want to keep this simple. And what we could do is we could write a bunch of conditions in here to say, okay, if the nickname or the nice name is not filled in, let's use first, last, stuff like that. More coffee. But let's just go into my profile, which I don't even have a first and last name entered. So let's say Addison Hall. We're not going to use my nickname, but we're going to say display my name as Addison Hall. Have I been saying nice name is actually nickname? No, that's not right. Okay, whatever. Let's see what that does. Okay, nice name. So I'm not actually sure what all these others are, and you can experiment with this, but like there is an option for display name, And where was nice name? Am I making that up? Is it nickname? Am I losing my mind? No, there's nice name. Okay. Whatever. We're using display name. Yeah. So we can leave that as nice name. We'll just put name, author name. So I'm gonna go in and change all of these to just name. And again, I'm highlighting that one thing and hitting Control D. I think it's Apple D on a Mac, and it's, you know, selecting the other identical values so you can change them all at once. So save that, and now we have our author name. Oh. So I changed it, and I didn't change it in here. Whoops. Yeah, so let's just say name. And I'm having trouble typing. Okay, so now we should have our excerpt and our name. And I'm going to do a teeny bit of styling. So I have some utility classes. This is margin bottom 2. And it does it through rims or M's, I think. I can't remember. So this is in... oh, wait, no. Actually, I don't want it there. I want it in the wrapper. B2. Yeah, just give a little space. And yeah, so in the child theme, there is, within CSS, there's this base CSS, and it's pulled from, here it is, base CSS, but mine's BASE, just for the base styles is what I was trying to call it. This base CSS, it's like an older utility CSS framework that I've taken and kind of made my own, I guess. There's really too much in here, but that's where I'm pulling these. There they are. Yeah, these margin classes. Yeah, they're done in rims, so you can see it. So that MB2 is right here. So it basically adds one rim of space after whatever I've assigned it to. So anyway, the last thing I'd like to do, let's get a little more coffee, is get a little bit fancier, and let's add an author image. And I don't even know what this is called. Is it author? Well, gosh, is it in here? Let's see, display name, URL. There's no avatar. Is it avatar? Is that what it's called? It may be. Let's see. I don't know if it's author thumbnail, their avatar, maybe. We want to output. There it is. Okay. Oh, so we have some avatar tag, avatar URL. Let's look at this one first. Retrieve the avatar image tag for user. Okay. Let's do this. So we have the user ID. So we want a size, default. Let's see, the URL for the default image or default type accepts. Oh, so it's gonna, okay. So you can tell it which one to show as the default. The alt value, the arguments. So we get, this is an array where we can insert our own width and height or any of this kind of stuff, classes. So this is what I always go to. I look for the examples. Okay. Get the author meta ID. So we already have that. So this should be fairly easy. Okay. So let's go back to our shortcodes. Again, I'm going to copy and paste because I'm lazy, and I want to make things as quickly as possible. So avatar, we're going to do the author avatar. Get author. Yeah, let's do our duplicate again. Avatar, that will be, so GPC func author avatar. All right, so again, we're going to get the post object and we're going to get the author ID from the post object, but we're going to retype this bit. So let's say avatar equals, and what is the function? Get avatar. Get avatar, there it is. So we have the ID in this author ID, and then we have some options. So this 32, I think that is the size you want it to output. Let's go back up here to our arguments, and you can see them here too. Okay, so that's the size. So we want the ID, and apparently you can grab it from the email address too, because we all know the author email addresses are all unique, just like the ID. So we'll probably do our size kind of small too. Maybe 32 is okay. We don't have a default fallback. We'll see what the alt does, and yeah, let's just see. Let's try 32, and we'll leave the other stuff blank and let it just default to what it's going to do. And we need it to return avatar. Okay, so GPC author avatar. Let's see what happens. Post author name. We'll do the class equals post author avatar. Okay, so wrong brackets. GPC author avatar. And let's save. And drum roll, refresh. Boom, we get a little avatar, which you can see I very crappily put a circle in a square. So since I know it's a square and it's really small, I want to make that bigger. Let's try 48. And I want to add a class to it because I want it to be a circle. Yeah. And how do I do that? So what I'll do is I'll use this array argument. So you have here, where is it? Class. There you go. Okay, so I can add in an array. I'm going to try this and see if it's as easy as I think it is. Wait, first I need to see what position. So we have, so these arguments. Default's loading. Args array. Size default. What do they say up here? Yeah, I think that's putting it at the end. So I need to put spaces for these. So let's see. Let me remind myself what's the best way to do that. And hopefully we can find someone down here. Nope. No one has done that. Okay, well that's cool. We can we'll figure this out. So let's try. So I probably need those spaces for those arguments. So we'll do, what was it? Size. Then we need default. Or you know what? Can I leave them blank? And then we want our array. And then we want a class. And the value of that class is going to be something from here. Circle. Yep. Oop. Oop. Too much. Okay. So let's do this now. Yeah, so I just put in placeholders telling that, you know, don't fill anything in. But this last one where we get to put in some arguments for that array, I want to fill in the class one with circle. And there we go. So we got that nice rounded corners. Okay, so yeah, that's all I'm going to cover right now. We can get a lot fancier. In fact, you can look in the child theme, and there's some things going on about grabbing custom taxonomies and custom post types and using the loop, and even ones with using arguments where we get, you know, you can put in things like, you know, a layout is full or add logos or things like that. I had this example shortcode where I had output a custom post type called sponsors. And yeah, I'm not going to go into that now. These are more complicated, and I'll probably do that in another video, especially things where we want to do like loop through things and add like related posts, or I don't know, anything complementary to what you're already doing. Or you can just do it to have a shortcode to inject a list of posts into a page or another post, or, you know, things like that. So that's pretty cool. So we got our author avatar, we got our author name, and we got an excerpt into our GeneratePress custom header, all using shortcodes. And it's really pretty easy. I'm probably going to add these to my child theme and just leave them in there as defaults in case anyone wants to use them. And I may even get fancy with this, so you can inject your own size, and you know, so you can change that if you want to, but you can always come into the shortcode here and do it. Well, you know what? Real quick before I end, let me just show you how easy this is. We're going to add an argument to this one. So we have some attributes here, and we'll call it size. Okay. I'm looking at this to remind myself how this is done. So, okay, so attributes. So it's kind of this default way. So these are the arguments we're passing, and it builds it into an array called shortcode attributes, or ATS, short for attributes. So size, I'm going to default it to 48. And you know what? That does not need quotes because it's an integer, not a string. And then right here, now we need to say size equals shortcode ATS. Wait. That's not right. Hang on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Now ATS is the... Again, I've got to remind myself. So we're going to grab the size out of that. So there could be multiples. We could have class. You know what? We'll do that. Class. Now, this is a string, so we'll default it to circle. Or we'll default it to none. So it'll be empty. Okay. So size, and now class. And class. Okay, so now what we do, size equals, and we'll put in the default, it's 48, and then class equals, and I think you can, you know what, we might have to do one more step, and I hope I'm not making this video too long. It should be worth it though. Yeah, we'll leave that blank, and we'll leave that blank as the default. So what we're going to need to do here, you don't have to put in size or class. You can still just do GPC author avatar, and it'll fill in these defaults. So what we're going to do here is we're going to now put in size, and for the class, we're going to put in class. So it's simply going to fill in these values. So this will be filled in with whatever it grabs from here. So it will default to 48 unless we put in something here. And class will default to blank unless we put in something here. So let's look at what we can do. What I was saying here is we're going to have to take one more step here, and we'll need to look this up because we need to make let's go to Google. We need to convert a string to an integer. And I look this stuff up all the freaking time. Number format, is it that easy? Okay. So let's see, number, we're just going to wrap it in this, and hopefully it's going to convert that size to an integer. Because if it were a string, it wouldn't return the correct value, I guess. And I may be doing some serious overkill here, I'm not sure. So now let's take a look at what it does. We should still get our image, but you can see the class is gone now, so it's not rounded. So now let's do our size equals, I think I can still do it in quotes. Let's make it 60. And do our class back to rounded. And now we'll update it. Oh, so, oh, wait, no, that should be circle, not rounded. I got rounded corners. There we go. Okay, so let's inspect it. And yeah, so now it's 60 pixels wide and tall. And it has a class. Well, you can see the default class is added to it, but we've added a circle. So yeah, that's it. That was not as bad as I thought it would be. So now I've even showed you how to add arguments to your shortcode. So yeah, cool. So now I will end it there, and we'll end on our cool, well, somewhat cool. This could use a lot more love, but you get the idea. So now you can add shortcodes to your WordPress stuff. It's really that easy. I'll probably, like I said, upload these to the child theme, and they'll be there by default if you need to use them. So please subscribe. I'm trying to add these on a regular basis right now. It's working out to be every Monday. I'm crazy busy right now. So and it's getting to be the holidays. I may not be able to add as many as I'd like, but hope you're enjoying these. Please comment. Let me know what you'd like to see, what's helpful, what's not. And I really enjoyed making these. Hope you guys are finding them useful. Yeah, thank y'all.